Hello, everyone. Let's continue with Master YongHua Shan instructions.
"在难的时候，你要能不怕难，那就是真了。好像咱们这位果地居士，家里小孩子把腿碰了，要他在家里。
When it is difficult, you're not afraid of the difficulty, then that's the truth. Like our layman Cordellia, his child hurt his leg.
对照顾他，天天呢跑到佛堂里，把个太太气的不得了不得了的那么他也不管。
The family wanted him to stay at home to look after the child, but he came to the temple every day. His wife was really upset, but he didn't care.
这个呢，有多少放下，还有多少没有放下？为什么呢？心里还有一个太太那么样对他发脾气。
In this case, he let go some, but didn't let go much. Why is that? Because in his mind, there's still a wife mad at him.
连这个发脾气这种的感觉也没有了，那是空无所空了。
Until he doesn't react to the wife's temper, having no reaction, then that is empty of nothing, emptiness.
空无所空，所空即无，这个所空的也没有了。那时候就湛然常寂了。
Since there is no emptiness, the emptiness doesn't exist. At that time, it will be profound, clear, and permanently still.
就是常常的湛然常寂，湛是妙湛的湛，寂是寂静的寂，湛然常寂。
It will often be profound, clear, and permanently still. Profound, clear, and permanently still.
再到这个，连这个记忆也没有了，你记忆都没有了，所以呢，还有什么欲呢？
Furthermore, even if the stillness will be gone, if you don't even have the stillness, what desire can you still have?
所有的这种欲念都没有，没有欲念了，这才是真正的清净，真正的清净。
All the thoughts of desire are gone. When you don't have any thought of desire, that's true pure and clear, true pure and clear.
你得到这种真正的清净了，才能禅悦为实，法喜充满。
When you attain this true pure and clear, then you can have Chan bliss as food and be full of Dharma joy.
天到晚都是快乐的，啊，没有忧愁。这时候无论在什么境界上，都是快乐。
You will be happy day and night without worry. At this moment, no matter what state you're in, you will be happy.
所以永嘉大师就说：“总欲风刀长谈谈，假药毒药也显显。”就是这。
Thus, Great Master YongHua said, even met with a sharp saber still completely composed, even given a poisonous drug still totally at leisure.
Okay, let's stop here and revisit what he just talked about. Okay, so new topic. He says that, we talk about a case of Di, one of his disciples. He comes to the temple every day, even though the wife says, your child hurt his leg. You should stay home to take care of him. But Di, the man says, nope, I got to go to the temple. So even though he's able to let go of his concern for the child, but he's still affected by his wife's temper. So that's Godi's state, according to Master YongHua. And he explained that. What is that? What are we talking about? You see? He says, so he used that as to illustrate the point. He says, that's still not good enough because you let go of the child, but you still attached to the wife. Especially he's worried about the wife's temper. Until he does not react to the wife's temper, child training, what do? We don't react, right? So he illustrated the point here. He practiced child and he goes to the temple, but he still reacts to the wife's temper. He says, Godi still doesn't get it. Okay? And until he can drop reacting, he stops reacting to the wife's temper, that having no reaction, Master YongHua has, is to empty. This is a nonsense translation. Okay, of course, it's understandable. The translator does not understand what he's talking about. So that's why I implore you to explain to us what he's talking about, especially Chinese people, Taiwanese people, Hong Kong people, any Chinese-speaking people. What is it? 空无所空? Huh? What's that? Yes, Mr. China person. What is 空无所空? What is the Chinese semantics? What does it mean? This is Buddhist jargon, be careful.
To me, it means that there's nothing to empty out anymore. Okay, let me propose this for you, all of you, okay? So that we are on the right track, otherwise we'll be here the whole hour again. 无所空, you need to understand 无所空 first, and then you 空无所空. That's what he's talking about.
So Chinese people, anyone who understands the Buddha Dharma, who thinks he or she understands chant, what is 无所供? Come on. Okay, the non-Chinese people help the Chinese out.
Emitofuo Master, I am guessing the năng và sở is that us, and then myself, and then other. So vô sở, that means that you don't see that the people in front of you, and then you don't see yourself. You empty. You don't react to the other people say. That's my guess.
I bet you can't translate that. Okay, anyone else? What is 无所供? Huh? Come on, Chinese people. Do not let your own culture down. Okay. Koreans who understand Chinese. What happened to so old Lao Shi? Huh? Is she there? 无所供? What's that? How about Lio, who understands Chinese? He's been in Shanghai for a while. Okay, and what is 无所供? Rescue your Chinaman.
네, 아니야. 물론 아직 얘기 안 했는데. 이제 얘기하면 되네. 네. 너무 어려운데. 네. 무소공은 공이라고 할 바도 없음을 말하는 것 같아요. 그래서 공이라는 것은 공이라고 할 바도 없다. 그 얘기가 아닌가 싶은데요.
Even it is empty, it's not empty. That's how I understand this.
No, and so to prove your Chinese is still not good enough. Just kidding. Anyone else? What's this Chinese thing here? Come on, Chinese people, look up your dictionary. I challenge you, look up your Buddhist dictionary and see what he's talking about. This is a chant parlance. Oh, Ray, what have you been doing? Sitting there and not even looking up your Buddhist dictionary chant references, and what does it say? I'm curious to what the Chinese have to say. Come on. Chinese person. Oh, good timing. Are we glad you're here? You're the one who looks at all sorts of Chinese junk. You wouldn't believe the kind of that stuff she digs up. Oh, good Lord. Talking about Chinese confusion. Yes, Vietnamese wisdom.
Thì con cũng đoán mò thôi, là cũng không, khi mình đạt được cái không thì cũng không chấp vô cái không đó thì mình mới đi vào cái chân không được.
Okay, no comment. She's old enough. I'm not going to hurt her feelings. Anyone else? Huh? 无所空. She raised, looking, where is that thing? Where is it? What I really want to know. The pressure is on. Hey, Sang-wook, are you getting an excuse not to look up 无所空? How can you translate into Korean if you don't understand this, dear? Huh? How can you trust your translation, your Korean translation? You don't get this. Yeah? Hey. Yeah? What is it? What is 无所空? Come on, guys. Pressure is on. Don't let your own compatriots down. What about the China bloc? Weimang. I'm challenging all you Chinese people, and I don't want to be on the spot.
Master, based on our research, is from Chang Jing 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 Thung Tan Tan Ken from Tai Shang Lao Chun. That is the verse
Tai
from
Shan, what's Tai Shan? Who's he?
Tai Thung Lao Weng. Is the Dao Jiao. Tai Thung Lao Weng is the kōng無所空. So that is the verse from that, and what he trying to refer is from
Taoist.
that. That is what
Taoist
I know.
crap.
From
Okay.
the Taoist, yes.
Yeah. I call it Taoist crap, so it's not Chan crap. Okay, anyone, what do you think it means? Come on, let's have some Chinese pride. Asian Chan pride. Look it up. It's okay to look it up. You can cheat. I'm here. I can't look up things, but you can. That's your edge over me. Come on. What's 无所空? I broke it down for you already. You see how much you struggle? And if you continue, he'll have to explain nonsense to you. He has to throw nonsense at you because it's so difficult for you to understand. That's the point I'm trying to make. This is so difficult to understand, so that he talks next, and this thing here, and this has nothing to do with Gō-di. And this is why I feel that if this is how you teach Chan, your students are going to have problems. You give them concepts they don't understand. They hear about these concepts, they don't know what it means, and they apply to something that really is irrelevant. Boy, I'm really going out on a limb nowadays, don't I? I even question my own Chinese master's Chan instructions. Don't believe me, okay? I just have a big mouth. Look at the Chinese. Look at it. I don't know what's going on. Pressure is on. Sang-wook, don't you have any references? What's the matter with you? Korean people, come on, where's your national pride? JMT. Okay.
마스터 말씀대로 검색을 했습니다. 그랬더니 온각경에서 나오는 말인데 다 비워서 비울 것이 없는 경계인데 없는 건데 이렇게 제가 다 읽지는 못했는데 이게 깨달음의 경계를 깨달은 상태를 이야기하는 것 같습니다.
Master, this came from one of the sutra, and like you said, I just quickly researched. I couldn't understand everything, but
Good
I think it
girl.
says.
I like it. This girl is active. Yeah, good girl. Continue.
So it's about empty, but eventually really nothing to empty. I believe this is a description of a state of enlightenment.
Very good. Which sutra is that in your Korean references? Which sutra? Sinan, what sutra is that? Good research. Even the
거기
Chinese don't get it.
원각경
God, shame on you Chinese people. Huh? What sutra is that?
원각경이야.
Korean sutra? See, I never read. This is the first time I heard of this. Come again?
This is called Perfect Enlightenment Sutra.
Chinese characters.
In Korean, 원각경.
圆觉
One-
圆觉经. Huh? 圆觉, I never heard of it. It's this sutra. Perfect Enlightenment.
Master，那个经典的名称就是《圆觉经》，《圆觉经》。
Very good. Thank you, Lao Shi. Okay, very good. You see, the Koreans are more productive than you, native speakers. So the Koreans have better internet search facilities than you, or what? Huh? What is it? Okay, very good. It's right, it's correct. I'm trying to understand. I haven't read that sutra yet, so I don't know what she's referring to. I wouldn't dare to comment. I know, Vietnamese person. So I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't want to take chances with that. Plus, I don't have any interest in reading a sutra anyway. And won't do much for my work. So, what is he referring to? Okay. 无所供. Okay. Where is it? Okay. 空无所空. Okay. So you break it down into two sections. 无所供 first, and then 空无所供. Okay. So 无所供 here. What is 所供? There is two concepts in Buddhism, neng and so. Okay, neng is you. You are capable. Neng is you. So is your 对象, your opponent, what you're facing, what you're looking at. Okay, you and the outside world, basically. Neng is you, so is outside. So far, so good. Anyone has any problem with my non-child? This is my own personal explanation. I never read this before. Okay, I kept on hearing about this, so I make up things to explain to you. That's all. So just hear with a grain of salt. Now, don't look at this as like the Bible or God's teachings or something. Oh, good Lord. JMT, go ahead.
Master, by the way, because they mentioned about the Perfect Enlightenment Sutra, so their request, when Master have time, please explain that sutra for the Korean Sangha.
사람 한국의 스님들을 위해서 영화경을 설명해 주시기를 바랍니다.
Maybe I will explain. Maybe I won't. Depends on how much time I have. My goal is hopefully to try to explain as much of the Avatamsaka Sutra as possible, because that's a very profound Dharma that we need to have in English. Okay, Master Hsuan explained it in Chinese. I like to explain it in English, our English version of the Chinese, because what we have is from a Chinese perspective. Everything we have in the Avatamsaka is really from Chinese resources and Chinese masters. I like to begin to explain it from Buddhist English, in an English language, not translated. And that's very important for me, to me. So the other sutras, and that sutra will probably take the rest of my career. I probably won't be able to finish at the rate we're going. Okay, we're too slow. And it's not so much we need to cover a lot of territories. My interest is to make sure you understand and delve deeply into these concepts that the Chinese did not do. Okay, the Master Hsuan in particular did not do. Okay, and so to me it's much more important to do the Avatamsaka Sutra. And if I have time, if conditions arise, I might explain that sutra. Okay, but anyway, don't be impressed by the names. For me, the Yuan Jue Jing is how big is it, by the way? Do you know? How many characters are we talking about? Yeah. Anyway, so to me, that Yuan Jue Jing here is probably too specialized for you. And therefore, this is explained at the level for the bodhisattvas. Instead of explaining that, I'd rather explain the Avatamsaka Dharmas for bodhisattvas, which is far deeper than the Yuan Jue Jing. I can tell you that right now. Okay? So anyway, we'll look into it later. Remind me if I complain, I have so much free time. Okay, very good. So Yuan Jue Jing. So here's what happens. Wu and Neng and So. There's a concept is Neng is you. Neng is you capable of. Okay? Neng is I'm able. Neng is ability, able. So is where you put yourself. Okay? So you what's facing you, what you're contemplating, what you're looking at. Okay? So that's your you and you and the outside. You and not you, if you will. Okay? So it's you here, and the rest of the world is not you. In other words. Is that okay? That's a so. Okay? Neng is you. So is whatever you want to look at. Okay? Again, this is very unorthodox way. I never read it before. Been explained. No one explained to me Neng So yet. Okay, Master Hsuan didn't really quite explain it. I never read anything, but today I need to explain to you. So is outside, Neng is you. So inside and outside. So it depends on how you look at it. Either it's inside is you, and outside is not you. Or Neng is what you're able of, So is what you are facing. Okay? Your opponent, your object of contemplation. Subject and object is the translation of Neng So. So far, so good. So subject is you, that's Neng. So is what you are contemplating, the object that you are looking at, you are dealing with, you are perceiving. Any questions? You don't have to agree with me, okay? You can bring up, this is how we Koreans explain it, it's how Vietnamese we explain it, it's how the Chinese people explain it, and that's fine. How the Taoist people explain it, that's fine. Okay, I'm eager to learn. Okay, but so Neng So to me is that. Okay, so when he says Suo Gong, okay, Suo Gong is, what does it mean? Meaning that the object, So, is kōng, is empty. So far, so good. Meaning, when he looks at anything outside, okay, of himself, everything is empty. That's a state of wisdom. So far, so good. And that's only possible, just commentary, it's only possible. How is it possible that everything is empty? Which is not spoken, which is implied. How can you see it? Everything is empty. And this is empty, this is empty, you empty. Huh? She's empty, he's empty, the Chinese are empty, Koreans are empty, she's definitely empty. Huh? Huh? How is it possible? Everything outside is empty. She does it every time she does it. Every time she does it, I can't help and control my chuckle. She has this turtleneck and she goes. Haven't you figured out how to do without having to use a turtleneck and heat yourself up? Layman.
Masters, does he has to be a four-state arhat in order to do so?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Master, does he have to be a fourth state arhat in order to see everything is empty?
It's only possible when he's empty, he's empty, he's empty, he's empty, she's empty, everyone's empty because you are empty. Is it clear? So, so kōng is emptiness, which implies you're also empty. That's why when you're empty, everything's empty. And that's implied in Buddhist teaching. When you empty yourself, everything is empty. That's why they don't mention neng kōng, but they only mention so kōng. Is it clear? This is a very important Buddhist concept. You don't have to understand it. It's, I want you, oh, hello, look at that. Looks like a scene, someone from the Star Wars movie. You guys are all real characters. You never cease to amaze me, each and every one of you. Everyone every time I look at you, oh wow. Okay, see, that goes to prove I am not empty. Okay, so what happened is that Wu So Kung is that you're empty, and therefore the soul is also empty. Okay, so Kung here is that emptiness. And Wu So Kung is no emptiness. Okay? No emptiness, meaning that even the emptiness is also emptiness. Okay? And Kung Wu So Kung is that even that knowledge is no emptiness, it also must be empty. There's a double layer. That's why it's called perfect enlightenment. That is a state of a Buddha. In my opinion. Okay? I have to look at the sutra. Okay? Well, I'm too lazy. All right. Okay? So, if you understand from my perspective, what does it have to do with Godi? You see the discrepancy? We're talking about the kōng, the emptiness of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattva. At least it's a high-level Bodhisattvas. Very, very high-level Bodhisattvas. Godi still has a wife and a child. Okay? Unlikely he's that advanced in a Chan practice. You see what I mean? I think he stretched it a little bit too far. That's in my opinion. If you agree with my explanation, kōng無所空 here says this is really double layer, okay? Meaning this is the Buddha state of enlightenment. Then it will often be profound, clear, permanent, still, profound. Even when that state, there's no stillness, there's no profound, there's no clear, nothing whatsoever. Is that clear? Okay. This doesn't apply. Okay, I hope someday you understand what I mean, or you see that I'm wrong. JC, right now is my Dharma talk. Yes, JC.
Hello, Master. Just to provide extra information about the Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, because 2 days ago somebody came and asked about this sutra, and then Shinfa told me that this is a mandatory sutra to study in their novice program in Korea. All the novices have to study in their 3rd year.
Nonsense.
This sutra is relatively short. It's a dialogue between the Buddha and 12 bodhisattvas.
And you, novices, study the sutra of a conversation instruction the Buddhas have for the 12 bodhisattvas? Seriously?
It's because the conversation is about the bodhisattvas ask the Buddha. The Buddha explained about the southern teaching, and then the bodhisattvas ask that the living beings are too confused, so what to do? So Buddha explained in the sutra about the Hinayana method as well, like impure, the body is impure, and samatha and extras. I think that's maybe why.
Nonsense. I would never allow a novice to study this sutra. It's nonsense. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't like, I don't like to use big words because none of you novices can understand what even that so kōng is about. So what's the point in talking about bodhisattvas? What are you doing? Giving yourself, putting words, big words in your head that you have no clues what it's referring to. You read all kinds of junk on the internet, and you don't, and you whatever makes sense to you, it's totally stupid. If you agree with it, there's something wrong with that. Okay? It's what you disagree that's what interests me more. All right, JMT.
Yeah, sorry. 마스터 현법입니다. 제 이름이 나와서 제가 겪었던 거를 그냥 말씀드리고 싶어서 얘기 드립니다. 이 경전은 저희가 3학년 때 배워야 하는 필수 과목 중에 하나이고 한국 불교에서는 굉장히 오래전부터 중요시 여겨지는 경전 중에 하나입니다. 그리고 사실은 저희보다는 선방에서 참선을 하시는 스님들께서 중요하게 여기는 경전이라고 알고 있습니다. 근데 이 경을 배울 때 정말 하나도 무슨 말인지 이해할 수가 없었습니다. 그런데 아무런 주석서에도 아무 걸 읽어봐도 전혀 도움을 얻을 수 없어서 마스터께서 이 경을 언젠가 설해 주시면은 한국에 있는 많은 스님들이 도움을 얻을 수 있지 않을까라는 생각을 가지고는 있었습니다. 그거를 어제 현안 스님하고 얘기를 잠깐 했었었는데 이게 오늘 마침 경전에 이름이 나와가지고 이런 얘기가 된 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
Master, this is a Shenfa. I'd like to explain my experience and I want to talk about this. So this sutra, Perfect Enlightenment Sutra, is a requirement for third year Shamini. And in Korean Buddhism, it is very important sutra. And what I know is in Sampang, Sunims think that this is a very important sutra to study. When I was learning this, the Perfect Enlightenment Sutra, I couldn't understand what they're explaining. And I even read commentary and I still couldn't understand. So we talked about this yesterday with Venerable Shinan. And if Master ever explained this sutra, that will help a lot of Korean Sunims. And today, by coincidence, and this sutra name came up. Thank you.
Okay, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing your perspective and your experience. That's very good. I feel that this is a wrong sutra to explain to novices. It's even the wrong sutra to explain to the Korean Sunims. That's why I won't explain it to the Korean Sunims. Okay, there's always this danger of you hearing about these big words, these big principles, and you don't know what it really means. And you think you know, you think you understand. It's even more dangerous than simply saying, I don't know. It's nothing worse than reading something, this junk, and including this sutra. If you don't understand, it becomes junk. Worse than you read junk and you think you understand, it's big problems for you. And if you read the sutra, like novices, like Korean Sunims I met so far, they have no business studying the sutra at all. It's not for them. They still have a lot more to learn. I'm going to that. I'm going to come to that. This is why I disagree with Master Sheo right here. That's why I'm going to spend time explaining to you why I'm going to disagree with him. This causes problems for your students, for his students, for the Korean disciples, for the Korean Sunims. That's why they're going to get stuck. Okay? Go ahead, JMT.
안녕하세요, 마스터. 저는 원각경에 대해서 그냥 말씀을 드리면, 송광사나 마스터께서 얼마 전에 말씀하셨던 한국의 삼보사찰 중에 송광사랑 통도사에서는 49제를 드릴 때 원각경의 보안보살장을 독송을 합니다. 일단 중요하게 생각을 하는데 이해를 못하고 있다는 말씀을 드리고 싶었습니다.
Master, about this Perfect Enlightenment Sutra, you already visited that the Songgwangsa and Tongdosa, those famous temples in Korea. What they do is they read this, the part of a chapter from the Perfect Enlightenment Sutra during the 49 days. And everyone said it's important, but I can't understand this sutra.
You read it, it's not going to help you go to the Pure Land. I'll tell you that right now. In the 49 days, I help people go to the Pure Land. What are you doing reading the sutra? What kind of nonsense is this? The objective of the 49-day service is to bring you to the Pure Land. And if you are, most of you, after you die, you read this sutra, Say what? Now you don't understand. What makes you think you understand after you die? Please. Nonsense. Yes, sir.
Emitofuo Master, the Perfect Enlightenment Sutra is in Vietnamese called Kinh Viên Giác. And I have a little experience with this sutra as well. My mom and my sister and my brother, they are all left-home people, and they all study this sutra.
So you're the loser of the family?
Yeah, I'm the loser in the family. So they occasionally they speak and talk and give some example from this sutra, and then I think one of the sentence or one of the phrase is stuck in my mind that they usually use at bốn thân bốn vô ngã tánh ái hài do sanh. This body is not the self is empty. Where the love and hate it come from, you know? But it sounds very good, and it's on the Bodhisattva stage. And us other, we couldn't even handle the leg pain, so it's very far away from us.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, because you're talking about all this enlightenment. You can't even sit in full lotus. You can't even stand your leg pains.
Yes.
You can't even, your mind can't even be still.
Yes.
Like this guy, you know, his wife yells at him and says, I can't take this.
And this is in this
This is
sutra.
too much. My wife is too much. Yeah.
Very high level. Buddha taught the perfect enlightenment to all the Mahasattva, not the regular sattva, but Mahasattva.
And you, what are you doing? Studying the materials of the Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas? That's my very first reaction. What are you doing? What is he doing talking about this to this Godi, who is so afflicted by his wife? It has nothing to do with this Yuan Jue Jing. It has nothing to do with this Perfect Enlightenment Sutra. You see my problem? Okay. Let's say that this guy understands. This is this Godi. He understands. Even he says he understands. Oh, I can be perfectly still and profound stillness, and clear and still, with nothing whatsoever. Okay, and even I get rid of the stillness. Even with that, okay, then what wife is there? What he means by desire, meaning. He wants to be his wife to be happy. His desire here is very practical. What desire is there here? Meaning that it's not just sexual desire, but he says he wants his wife to be happy. Okay, so far so good. And so that's what Master Shio tried to connect the two. And then when you have no more wife, no more you, and so forth, no more desire, then everything is truly pure and clear. Assuming that he's able to do that. Are you with me? Let's say you're able to do that. You look at your husband and say, what husband? What children? Look, she's having fun. Okay? So far so good? You see the problem now? Gentlemen, what about us? Huh? What kind of Buddhism is this? The Buddhists teach them to be empty and they don't need us. And what about us? What kind of teaching is that? It's one-sided. They favor the women. It's so sexist. Got that? It's skewed. Either skewed with those men who say, it says, Goti here says, I'm empty. I have no more wife. He gets upset at me. I don't have a wife. How can she be upset? No one being upset at me, so I'm fine. I'm perfectly okay. But what about the wife? He says, what is the matter with you? You go to the temple and you leave me all this stress and all the problems with the family I have to resolve. What kind of Buddhist are you? What kind of Buddhism are you studying? What kind of Buddhism they teach you at the temple? You understand? It's skewed towards goatee. And it's skewed to here at our temple, it's skewed towards women. What's it do for us men? We, the weaker sex. Huh? And that's why as soon as I heard this one, I said, you don't bring it up here with the family issues here. My problem, this guy, if I were there, this guy dropped his family, came to the temple to study the temple. You know what I would do? I say, go home. What is the matter with you? What kind of Buddhism do you think we're practicing? How can you possibly cultivate and meditate when your child is crying at home, your wife is upset at home? Huh? How could we? What kind of person are you? If you are able to do it like that, I'm not interested in teaching you at all. You cannot go very far if that's how you behave. That's how you think. Because that's a Hinayana approach. Okay, so this is I really was not happy with this, and what he talked about is correct. He's talking about very profound principles, but it has nothing to do with Gaudí and his wife and his child. What kind of father can leave his child when a child is hurting and say, okay, son, I'm going to empty myself so that your pain doesn't mean anything to me? What kind of father is that? What kind of practice is that? We don't train people to be like that. And then, when he says in general, in principle, you're trained to prove pure and clear, okay? Really true, truly pure and clarity. And then you have Chan bliss as food and be full Dharma joy. No. You don't need to be at this level to have Chan bliss as food and to be full of Dharma joy. This is disconnected. Meaning that at low level, the level he talked about is kōng wū is a very, very high level. Okay, I look at it as Buddha's level. Okay, then at that level, it's true. Okay, now you have Chan bliss as food and full Dharma joy, Phá Xì Chung Man. But at the lower level, for us as well, who practice at first dhyana, second dhyana, you can experience Chan bliss for food and be full Dharma joy as well. It's okay. I feel that maybe he's early in his teaching career in 1971, so he's not that experienced, but this is the wrong way to connect the story, the situation of Gautī with a resentful wife and a child, okay, with the state of the Buddha, on the state of Chan bliss for food and full Dharma joy. How could you? I would never encourage you to enter the Chan bliss to take it as food and full Dharma joy when your family is not happy with you. That kind of cultivation will not last. Not smart cultivation. Okay? You'll be happy day and night without worry. At that moment, no matter what state you're in, you'll be happy. The wife is hurting, the child is hurting, the wife is upset. You're still happy. Oh, please. What kind of Buddhist is that? Shame on you. This is how you approach Buddhism. Just you? That's it? What about the rest of us? Losers, huh? Was there a question? And then he went to Master YongHua. Okay, so to me, I strongly disagree with this kind of approach. Okay. Okay, now you disciples and devoted followers, Master YongHua, let me have it. And you're not listening right now. In the future, feel free to comment and shoot me down, and throw arrows and javelins at me. I welcome your comments. How about you? Agree or disagree? Yes, Star Wars.
Thank you, Master.
You make me feel like going and watching the Star Wars movies again. Because I remember, the scene, someone walks in with the, capuchon over. Oh, that's R2-D2.
Thank you, Master. I totally agree with you because I experienced it myself at home. I started my fast on the 1st. And instead of going to the temple after 3 days, but I couldn't go because so much commotion happened at home, and I feel bad to have my husband deal with it by himself. So listen to things going on at home, and my husband and I was able to sit down and talk and see how we can deal with things and help the situation at home for the children to be better. And I don't want to leave the house, and with the holiday coming and nothing is ready for holidays. So my daughter came home from college. We all gather and decorate our Christmas tree and make it festive and nice and warm. Many things going on, but I feel so drained. And in between the time, I just chant Emitofuo and listen to your chanting. And then it helped. My husband is the one who said, no, I think you need to go in the temple. He's the one who encouraged me to go in as soon as I can, because he knows that at the temple it's so much peaceful for me. And then
Kōng無所空, this is where you go.
And then including my son, he's also here in the other room, and he said, Mom, I want to go in. So just in case you need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I will be there for you. So I appreciate that. But I know that you say during fasting, try not to think about anything. But I also have this greedy in myself. And I always think of a way so that our temple make money. And then I was thinking, I listened to your chanting, the Great Compassion mantra, and all the chanting that you have online, in the website. But then I'm thinking, why can't we make money out of it? Because in a way, it will help. I'm sorry, Master. Because I saw people who have beautiful scenery of the nature scene, and then they have music. just running over and over, and people listen to it, and then they make 5,000 passive income per month. And then here we are, have like an army of people who love to follow you. Like you and I, whenever we hop in the car, we will listen to your chanting. Can we put that on YouTube so that we can loop it 24/7? In that way, you have a lot of screen time and make more money and reinvest it for audio and stuff for our
No more
temple.
cryptocurrency.
I'm still on with my crypto.
You're still on.
I'm a hodler for life. Thank you, Master.
Yeah. Okay, you guys are so preoccupied with money. I thought only I'm supposed to worry about money. Okay. So this is to me, Master Xinhua talked about a very important concept, okay? But it's not the proper audience. It's not the proper people there. I'm pretty sure in 1971, no one, would even, at the time, at best you talk about fourth-stage Arhat materials, not Buddha materials, okay? Even now, all my disciples, I even don't even bother explaining at this level, kōng無所空 yet. Okay, it's not that level yet. So why bring it up? Because it's not good use of your time. Okay. Anyway, but I'm sure Master Xinhua has his reasons. He taught this. I just happen to disagree with some of the way he explained things, because when I was listening to it when he wasn't around, I came up with this material here, whatever I could understand. It didn't make sense to me at all. And even now, looking at even now, we have the help from a Chinese-speaking disciples, and they did a great job giving us these materials. I feel, excuse me, I feel that this is why it was confusing. It was very, very confusing. When I looked at some of his Chan teaching, especially the Huatou teachings, it's confusing. I would never teach my disciples that style of Huatou practice. It causes problems for the practitioners. And right here, another way is also to talk about this is not appropriate for the audience. The Dharma is spoken according to the audience ability to absorb. In particular, if you talk about the theory, like you in a Buddhism class, or you lecture on the Yuan Jie Jing, and that's fine. But he connected this concept with a Godi and a child who's sick, who's injured, and the wife who's not happy with him. And that's a wrong connection. To me, I would never teach my disciples that. Okay, I disagree with that. It's a wrong way. It gives the Westerners, Western educated people like me, a bad taste of Buddhism. If we tell our students to empty themselves and ignore the wives, ignore the child, it's not the kind of Buddhism I want to practice. It's not the kind of Buddhism I want to teach. I have a problem with this. Okay? That's all. Let's not dwell on this. Let's continue. And see, this is the kind of Buddhism we practice. We can express our opinion. We don't always have to agree with Master Xinhua, because he said himself. He says, "I know half of Buddhism," meaning it's true. It's true. He knows only half, so the other half he doesn't know. It's perfectly okay to disagree. I feel. You too.
Master, I appreciate your point of view. Initially, my husband was unhappy and suspicious of what I was learning at the temple. You encouraged me to spend more time with him and don't attend as much.
Sounds like
Now
someone I know.
Now he sees how much I give to the family that he encourages me to come.
Who's that?
Vicki.
Which Vicki? I have like 5 Vickis.
Vicki Sprout.
Oh, bean sprouts, okay. That's how I remember people's names. The point here is that if you want to practice Buddhism for a long haul, okay, everyone needs support. You cannot practice Buddhism without adequate support. And if your family does not support your Buddhist practice, good luck to you. It's not going to end well for you. So that's why you need to have a balance. You need to practice vigorously, diligently, but also at the same time try to benefit your family as well, benefit your friends as well, benefit your co-workers as well. Okay? That's your support structure. You cannot ignore it. And that's why yesterday, the prior 2 nights we talked about Layman Pang. I tried to tell you that Pang, Mr. Pang, is a very lucky man that he had a superior wife who asked for nothing, who put up with all his nonsense, and still stuck around. A superior woman. It's not going to work for most of us. Most of us don't have such blessings, don't have such slaves. Okay, so now he goes to Master YongHua, even met with a sharp saber, still completely composed, given a poison and drug, still totally at leisure. Say, Dzung Feng Dao Cha, Tan Tan. Jia, Rao, Du Yao Ye, Xian Xian. So he says, let's continue with this. Let's see where it's going. Yeah. Rao.
要把我头给割下来，割就割了，这就终于。
So he says, let's continue with this. Let's see where it's going. It sounds like me.
Even somebody with a knife wants to cut my head off. No problem, cut it. This is even met with a sharp knife, still completely composed.
想要毒药也行，就是有人送你碗毒药来。
Even given a poison, still totally at leisure. That is someone sent a bowl of poison.
好像菩提达摩似的，人家给他6次毒药，他都把它喝了，喝了那个毒，你说毒的多烈。
Like Bodhidharma, people gave him poison 6 times. He drank them all. He drank that poison. You know how strong the poison was?
他有大便变出去，把那个石头的毒爆裂开，你可多厉害！但是
The poison came out with his stool. The poison busted the rock and cracked it open. You see, that's how strong it was.
是他这个肉体呀，没有报，这就是假药毒药有情形。
But his flesh didn't explode. That is, even given a poisonous drug, still totally at leisure.
你们要修到这种境界上面，你说还有什么麻烦？什么麻烦也没有了。
If you can cultivate to this state, what trouble would you have? There will be no trouble at all.
Okay, stop. So Master YongHua, he says, so Master YongHua, the seventh patriarch, one of the 3 or 4 7 patriarchs in China, said, even encountering a sharp saber, who are still unruffled, not composed, unruffled. Tan, right? So it's unruffled. And that's how I would translate into English. Still facing, threatened by a sharp saber, one is still unruffled. Rao tủ yao. I don't know what Jia Rao. And being served with poison, one is still at ease. Xian is leisure, but more in the concept of at ease. You're not even worried about he's going to die, he's going to be poisoned. When he's faced with a sharp knife, he's not afraid to be injured, not afraid to be cut. Okay? Threatened by a sharp saber. Add an ED. Being given poison. Okay, several poison, that's fine. Okay. Anyway, let's close it up. We're not, I hope that eventually some of you whose English language skills are much better than ours can refine this. Okay, it's the spirit here is that when you threatened by, let's say, on the road rage on the freeway, okay, they come and they point a gun at you or throw a machete, brandish a machete at you, you're still unruffled. Okay, you still you like this too much, young lady. and then when you're given poison, they invite you to eat, and they serve poison. Okay, and this is what happened to the patriarchs, like Bodhidharma later here. He says, when someone wants to cut your head off, no problem, cut it off. So So that's why that's what the phrase. Or when you're given poison, you are still at ease. You're not worried you're going to be poisoned. You're not worried you're going to lose your life. Okay, you're not worried about your person losing your own life at all. Okay, being poisoned at all. So, like Bodhidharma, who was poisoned 6 times, and now it's kind of interesting that he gave us the details on what Bodhidharma did to deal with the poison that he was served. So what did he do? The poison is extremely strong, and Bodhidharma, great master Bodhidharma, expelled it through his through bowel movements. Okay, so the interesting thing is that the poison stayed in his stomach and in the intestines before it comes out. So, but that's how he dealt with it. It's kind of interesting. He didn't pray the Vanya Bodhisattva save me, or whatever. He says, okay, I let it go through, let nature take its course. Okay. I don't understand that state, but it's kind of cool. And this is where you appreciate Master Hsuan Hua's depth of knowledge. He has such details. Okay, I disagree with sometimes his interpretation and how he used the knowledge to train his students, because I see how it caused problem for me when I listen, and how the results in his students who stuck with him for a long, long time. Well, 70s, he started in the 60s, and most of his seniors were there in the 70s already, and he died in 99, so close to 30 years. So they were with him for 30 years. That's a long, long time. And their holes in their comprehension of the Dharma he taught. The Dharma he taught is so advanced. Avatamsaka Dharma is so wonderful, so profound, and so original. I have yet to see any master who is original in interpreting the Avatamsaka Sutra as Master Hsuan Hua. I strongly urge you to listen to his. It's a pleasure. And best listen to it in Chinese. There's no substitute for it. I used to remember as a novice, didn't understand anything, but every day to listen to it for 2 hours in the afternoon, it's the best time of the day for me. It's addictive. It's fascinating. Okay, so his knowledge is incredible. His explanation made it like you can connect with it. It's so simple and so forth. It's so, it makes you feel like, it's for you, that you can enjoy it. Whereas most of the Avatamsaka explanations are like more along Master Ching Liang's line, where scholarly, very profound, deep principles, big words, heavy use of Buddhist jargon, and it causes problems to me. Until Master Hsuan came around. Okay, so anyway, so we need to appreciate, I appreciate Master Hsuan Hua's depth of knowledge here, that he could tell us that about how Master Bodhidharma handled being poisoned. It's kind of interesting. So he drank it and then let it go through. Well, I don't understand how, okay? But maybe someday we will. And the flesh didn't explode. And so when even served with poison, you are still at ease. You are unafflicted. If you can cultivate in that state, what trouble will you have? There'll be no trouble at all. Okay? And this, again, I would not teach this because it causes problems. Because This is a Dharma for the people who, like Bodhidharma, live away from civilization, and he sat there facing a wall for 9 years, teaching his disciple, Great Master Xian Ke, and that's fine. This is perfect environment for that. Okay? But in our time, it's no longer appropriate. We cannot afford to do that anymore. Back then, it's okay for Bodhidharma to do that because that's what it took to transfer the knowledge from India to China. Okay? And it took a long 9 years for him to prep Sheng Guang, who later became Xian Ke, to be ready to be the second patriarch, Chinese patriarch. So it's understandable. But for us, we don't have the same conditions. We can no longer afford. I don't think we can afford to do this. So to really isolate ourselves from the world, okay, when there's so much suffering that's going around, how can we possibly ignore it? Okay, and say that you can live and practice as if there's no trouble at all. Nothing in the world troubles you. Not for me. Okay, any questions or comments? Anyone would like to sing a song? Would that interest you more? Dance a dance. Okay, let's continue for a little bit. Yeah.
今天我再介绍一位高僧给你们各位。这一位高僧，他的名字呢叫石智猛。这个猛啊，就是勇猛的猛，勇猛精进的猛。
Today, I will introduce another eminent monk to you. This eminent monk, his name is Shì Zhì Měng.
他是雍州的人，雍州，就是离北京不太远，北京照新丰。
He was from Yongzhou, not far from Beijing, a native from Xinfeng.
他这个人生来这个性情啊，是很端正，又很聪明。
He was born with a temperament of being very decent and very smart.
Okay, Duan Cheng. Duan is upright. Cheng is proper. Upright and proper. I don't know if we English in Western culture have such concept, upright and proper, because it means something in the Chinese culture, I believe. No? So the man is upright and proper. It's worth preserving. Don't want to dilute this. This is very, very Chinese, very Buddhist, Chinese Buddhist. I read it a lot in many Buddhist texts and sutras. Duan Zheng is a concept. It's worth preserving. And then, wait. And then Dzung Ming, yeah, oh, very smart, that's fine. So let's talk about Duan Zhen. So what does it mean in your culture? Upright and proper. Asian culture. Anyone? He raises, looking at his search with no good results. Huh? Yeah? What? Why is there such emphasis on Duan Zhen, upright and proper? Because I look at Master Shenhua disciples, the ones I met. Some, they're all proper, but some are not upright. Anyway, so no comments about the cultural aspects. You want to keep it for yourself. You're Chinese. This is a Chinese thing, not for you Westerners. Okay. So Duan Zhen and very smart seems to be desirable character traits. Continue.
在这个他少年的时候啊，就出家了，出家有沙弥。有沙弥。
He left the home life when he was a teenager. He left the home life and became a novice.
他所修行的这个法门呢，就是风诵经典。他这个风诵经典就是念经。
The Dharma door he cultivated was to recite sutras, reciting sutras.
学习这个经典，日以继夜。夜以继日，白天他也读书，晚间也读经。
He studied sutras day and night, night and day. He recited sutras during the day and recited sutras at night.
晚间读经，白天也读经，那么不分昼夜这么样的来修行。
He recited sutras at night, and he recited sutras during the day. He cultivated day and night.
他常常听见这个印度来的法师就是讲这个佛再生的时候这种灵感的事迹。这种事情。
He often heard Dharma masters from India talking about inspirational stories during the period when the Buddha was alive.
他每听见这个佛种种的灵感呢，降魔呀，成道做菩提树下怎么样降魔 这些个问题呀，他就很欢喜听。
Every time he heard stories of Buddha's responses, subduing the demons, attaining the way, sitting under the Bodhi tree, how the Buddha subdued the demons, he liked them very much.
他就认为呀，这个千里的路程，你要走起来，也就像一步似的。
He felt that 1,000 miles, a journey of 1,000 miles, when you walk it, it is like a one step.
这个万年你过去万年呢，你要追究起来，也好像就像一天似的。
Many ages, 10,000 years from the past, if you investigate it, it is like one day.
所以他一定要去参观这个释迦牟尼佛这种的种种灵感的事迹。
So he insisted on visiting Shakyamuni Buddha's efficacious stories.
所以他在这个当时这个福建呢，姚兴那个时候在弘始6年，这个甲辰那年呢，最次就甲辰。
At that time, the period of Yaoxing, the 6th year of Hongshi, Jia Chen.
It's interesting that it's great that the translator, the preparer of the slides, he added 404. There's a lot of research that goes into it. Is it fairly simple to do that, to come up with that year actually? Is it?
Probably easy with Google.
Huh?
Probably easy with Google search.
Do a Google search. YouTube question.
From Cordellia, Master, what is your definition of upright and proper? And how can we teach our children to be upright and proper? And how can we change ourselves to be upright and proper?
Well, that's a good question. Upright to me, you can look at it from, let's say, an exercise viewpoint, where you can exercise your neck muscle so that you're like this, and you work out so that your body is straight. You like it, huh? Because I know some of Master Sheha disciples are not upright because they don't exercise. When you exercise the body, this is kind of interesting to me. I know it's kind of vain, okay, and please forgive me. But if you don't exercise and you only practice meditation, you lose your muscles. Your muscles will atrophy, you don't use them. And therefore, most of these Chan monks, they tend to go like this. Okay? Because they don't exercise. Where you look at the people who exercise, you go to the gym. Anyone goes to the gym? Not me, but anyone? Yeah, you see he's upright. Precisely. You see that? Because when you work out and you build your muscles, then you naturally, especially you work with weight, you do weightlifting, naturally, the proper technique makes your body upright. And today, I learned a new trick on how to make your neck not lean forward, but, take like this. as well. I'm not going to teach you, that's a paying section, okay? Don't be greedy now. Okay, so it's kind of cool. So the upright here, at the physical level, you need to me, it reminds me that you need to have a balance between meditation and also working out as well. Please don't neglect it. I don't feel we should neglect it, okay, especially monks and nuns. Don't be like Master Shì disciples. Most of them are not upright. Okay, and so upright means that that you have the muscle mass, if you will. You mean the balance, okay? The good physical health, in other words, to me, okay? And that's upright. But also, the reason the Master Shì disciple is not upright, because I know why. I'm not going to tell you, okay? Because it's so offensive, okay? I'm not here to hurt people, okay? I'm here to have fun and share with you and discuss with you and learn from you as well. So I'm not interested in belittling others at all, because it doesn't serve any good things, not for you, not for me, not for my disciples. So we're not going to go there. But there's a reason why it is upright, because it's spiritual. It's more than just physical. So, for example, look at Master Hsuan. Is he upright or not? Yes, very upright. Does he exercise? No, he doesn't exercise. QED, that's my point. You don't need to exercise, you can be upright. When you know you don't exercise and you're not upright because there's something off with you. That's all I'm going to tell you. Is that clear? Okay? So that's why for us low-level people, it's better to have a balance between physical and stuff and spiritual. Okay? Because the way Master Hsuan practice is not for us. Let me tell you. It's not going to work for us. Too extreme. In exchange to be able to do what he does, he has to go through that. And to me, it's too much suffering. Not worth it. And somebody said earlier, and Star Wars said earlier that, about money. Honey, money is the most boring thing. Because the more money I have, the more work I have. I don't like it. I was telling him that, it doesn't matter how many properties I have, I still need more space. That's how scary it is. Huh? We remember first here Go Forest, we're so happy just have a place where we can go and speak Dharma once in a while up here, right? Remember, huh? It was how desperate it was. We were so desperate. We had to go to a temple, about close to Dieu Nga's house here, his house, and in the other side of San Jose, and not that far from here, 10 minutes from here. And we used to go there every 2 weeks or so, okay? And then they very kind. They're nice to us. And they're very compassionate. So they gave us the place and even told the disciples to come and listen. So many people showed up because the master said, go, right? Because if he didn't say so, no one would come. I know that. So the last thing I wanted to steal his disciples from him. Okay? So it's kind of funny. So at the time, all we wanted is just a lecture hall like Master Hsuan in Hong Kong. He first started in Hong Kong. He said, I have a lecture hall, Buddhist lecture hall. That's all he wanted. So I said, I want a lecture hall too here in San Jose as well. And so we came there and we found one. And we lectured. And somehow this came up, this dump came up. And we got it because me, I'm a chicken. I cannot afford to throw money out the window. So we got it because I said, well, the condition arrived, we should have it, and we can't lose. And and it's cheap enough, and you know, we spend a year or two fixing it up. That's how cheap we are. For most people, they have a temple and they want, you know, flying right away to make money and so forth. No. We find the cheapest thing possible and then fix it. And then, you know, like, so it was like a dump here, and he and Tuan and the wife and Master Z and so forth had to come here and walk in muck and dust and, you know, asbestos, and it's really a mess. And now there's too many of you. And now I need more space. It's too much. So more money will force me to buy more, that's all. So that's why I'm not that crazy about getting more money. Yes, sir, Blackie.
Emitofuo Master, I want to share a little story about how powerful a master slap can be. Back then, when every 2 weeks we invite Master to the Tuệ Viên Temple, and Master spoke Dharma to us, and over there we have also quite a few people come over and listen to the Dharma, and after a while there kind of full house. The Buddhist disciple come over and listen to Master, and
really?
They have questions here and there. But then one day Master demonstrated how good his disciple is. So Master tried to slap Venerable Saint Leo, and just one slap, everybody's gone. Nobody's left. And then the day after, I received a text in, Master slapped the woman. Master slapped the woman. And from that day, nobody showed up.
No one showed up.
People here, especially the Vietnamese, they cannot handle that.
Very traditional, the Vietnamese. Yeah. YouTube, go ahead.
From Lio, Duanzheng, I wonder how this is used in China currently. But in Korea, this word is usually used for girls, not for boys, as in 容貌端正, when the girls are not necessarily pretty but has virtues and wears proper outfit.
Oh, the proper outfit. Yeah, good point. Thank you for the input. Again, what is the for women? Duanzheng. Duan is what for women? Could you repeat that, please? She's Korean.
容貌端正.
Yeah, Duan is what? Zheng is proper clothing. What about Duan?
Virtue.
Duan is virtue. That's correct. Exactly. Precisely. Exactly. When you are a virtuous person, good comment. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, we stop here. Let's not overdo it. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Oh, YouTube. Are we done? Are we done on YouTube? Continue. YouTube.
From Sophia Gu, there is mention of Duanzheng in the Lotus Flower Sutra.
Yes.
It says in the Universal Door of Guanxun Bodhisattva.
Yes.
色欲求女,
Right.
变身端正有相之女.
Exactly. That's usually applies to the female. So in that universal door chapter 25, the Lotus Sutra, it says that if you wish for a girl, a mother wishes for a girl, pray to One Yin Bodhisattva, and she will have a daughter that's Duan Chen. Okay? And for a boy, it's different qualities. So it's interesting, Master Hsuan Hua chooses to use Duan Chen for this man here. Okay. Now I was waiting for more information before I would dare comment about it. Maybe he's a girly boy? I don't know. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, good night.